tricky. DJ, what I'm gonna do, yeah? We're gonna start it again because I think they think we're on Zoom, like it's a Zoom meeting, and then they can't make some noise. So I'm going up them stairs, even though I'm already out of breath because them stairs, yeah? All right, come back again, and then they're gonna be making noise, innit? Yeah. Okay, let's wait for you to come downstairs. So, come down. Come on. Hi, it's me. Thank you. All right, we're going again? Hold on. We're going again? Yeah. DJ must pull it up and start again. And then, right, okay. All right! Wow! Oh my God! Hope? Yeah? I'm still out of breath. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome everybody. How are you feeling? You feeling good? Yeah. Energy nice? Yeah. You're thirsty? Yeah. Yes, so drink your juice. Listen, tonight is going to be an absolutely incredible night. We are in the salon, so this is home. Okay, so make sure you feel home. Can we shout to the DJ please, Sophie Lorena? Yeah. Spinning the ones and twos. So welcome TT family to another episode of the Salon Sessions. Before we even get into it, obviously, like I said, the salon is supposed to feel like home, yeah? So I'm going to test the energy in the room. Is that all right? Yeah. Because we're featuring a very exclusive brand today. They didn't come from Peckham. They didn't come from Shoreditch. They got on a plane, they came all the way from America. Yeah? So the energy needs to be correct. They are, of course, the one and only, the Doux. Thank you. Yes, let's keep that going. And so I think it's only fair that we give them some sort of, cool response, kind of, the Doux baby. Something, Yeah? You can hear me? Yeah! Are we on Zoom? Are we real life? Yeah! Okay, thank you. So let's try something. This is how we do, baby.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you like it? Do you like it? Because obviously, yeah. So we're going to try it. I'm going to say, this is how... And you're gonna say, we do, baby. Yeah? Cool? This is how?
We do, baby.
Don't give me that stushness, because that's what they're hearing. They're already telling us that we're stiff and all over here. So this is how?
We do, baby.
Period. Okay? I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
This is how?
We do, baby.
So I went to the shops and I told this man, this is how?
We do, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Give me some round of applause, please. I didn't even introduce myself, I'm sorry. My name is Dion Reed. I'm the founder of a company called Kid and You, and my mission is to get the world. Oh, thank you. I'm fine. Shout out to you. That's my mommy. But we're on a mission to get the world playing again. But tonight, my mission is to make sure you guys feel warm and feel home, okay? So, TreasureTress. Who knows about TreasureTress? Thank you. Just a little bit about them. They are the UK and Europe's largest subscription service for curly, coily hair types. They are soon to celebrate, not one, not two, 10 years of delivering wash days and helping you discover incredible brands like the Doux baby. Yeah? Okay. And so tonight, on your chairs, you should have seen some pick combs, afro picks. Have you seen them? Yeah. If you have one, put it in the air, please. Yes, it's really important that you keep hold of this. There are going to be some interactive things happening, and you can win some prizes. We're arriving. Nice. So yeah, make sure you keep on to them, okay? So now we get into session mode. We're going to get into the salon mode. Are you ready for your guests?
Yes.
Yeah? Are we warm?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes.
I love it. All right, so first up, she's redefining the beauty standards. Oh, actually, before we start, does everyone have their combs, the afro combs? Yeah. If you don't have your afro comb, let us know so we can make sure you have one. Yeah? Anyone that doesn't have one? If you don't have one right by now, that's your own business, because I asked you 17 times. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going into it now. We're in the salon. She's redefining beauty standards one curl at a time. Founder and CEO of Europe's largest curly hair subscription service. She's built a global movement that you are all a part of. From revolutionizing natural hair care to shaking up the beauty industry standards. Featured in Forbes, BuzzFeed, speed, the times, and many, many more. Can we give a round of applause to Jamelia Donaldson, please? Keep that energy going all the way to sundown. Yes. Wow. 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 To the max. To the max. To the max. To the max. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Lovely. Just casual like that as well, you know. In the heels as well. Come on. All right, so our exclusive guest for tonight. She's a serial entrepreneur who turned a love story and hip-hop vibe into a global movement. Co-founder of award-winning hair care brand, The Doux. The creative force behind We Do, Black-owned, veteran-founded, family-run, and tonight we celebrate The Doux officially landed in the UK! Please give a warm round of applause to Maya Smith! Woo! Keep it going! Wow! Come on! Ooh, girl! Wow! Wow! You baby! Come on, girl. This is you.
Hey guys.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Good. Good.
Can I just do a quick temperature check? If you're a stylist or a hair professional, can you just raise your afro tip? Okay, cool. And then if you're a consumer or a DIY babe, can you raise your tip as well? Okay, cool. And then if you've tried the Doux, can you lift up your afro tip? And if you've been waiting to try the Doux, can you raise your afro tip? Amazing. Cool. Welcome, Maya. Thank you so much for
trying
doing
not to cry. Hang
To say that we're excited to have you would be an absolute understatement. We work with a lot of brands, but I don't think we've ever worked with a brand as authentic and as unique as the Doux. So we are honestly so honoured that you've chosen for us to be your first stop on your tour in London. And we're so honoured that you've carved out the time to sit with us and allow us to get to know you and get us to know more about the brand. So we've only got 30 minutes, sadly. So I'm going to jump straight in, but just so that you guys know, we're going to have a bit of a fireside chat, and then Maya's actually going to show you how to use the products hands-on. So, as you know, with Salon Sessions, if you've got questions, just ask them. This is about education, spreading awareness, but also making sure that you guys have a really, really good time. So, first up, I want to know more about Maya, the artist behind the chair. I know that you've got 30 years experience in natural hair and styling. And what I love most, and what I loved most when I was researching the Doux, was your passion and your description of yourself as an artist, as opposed to a businesswoman or a founder. You define yourself as an artist, and it's clear through the visuals in your brand. So I'm really keen to know, as an artist, what made hair your outlet for your creativity?
Give me a second. Hey everybody. I think that as a kid, I was already really creative. And when I started, I was just sweeping hair and making coffee and answering the phone in my mom's friend's salon. So being a creative kid and then coming into, at 10, I was 10, what I felt like was a really creative environment. There's nothing like a black hair salon, right? And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, they're all the same in a way. Like there's this vibe, this energy, this love, this fellowship, this camaraderie. And so when you're a creative person and you're in a really creative, educational environment, that energy kind of grows from the inside. So as an artist that happens to do hair, that's really where my journey in this industry started, in service to other people. Seeing those transformations happen for other stylists from behind the chair, and also just seeing the creativity that was shared from stylist to stylist, that passing down of a skill set and customer service and that family feeling that you have.
Amazing. And what I love most about about your story and your experience in the salon is that you actually have experience as a salon owner as well. And you had a salon in Germany. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
The honeycomb, which is still my baby. I still feel like the honeycomb, opening up that salon in Germany, is the biggest thing I've ever done. Even though it was so long ago, and the things that we're doing now may seem bigger, I really believe that the biggest things are the things that you do when you have the least to work with. So, you know, it was us, my husband and I, putting our money in a Nike box until we had enough to buy salon chairs, and then we could get the rent together. And the community, the military community and the local German national community that really kind of embraced us and wanted that space there. It was a very special, sacred place because there wasn't at the time in Germany a place that celebrated anything other than either just braids or just relaxers. There wasn't a place for people who wanted to transition. And there wasn't a place that really embraced people who wanted to wear their hair straight and curly. So it wasn't just American women, it wasn't just German women, it was just people that had just the same need to kind of make a change in their hair care journey, and being a support to that community is I'd probably say my biggest accomplishment.
Amazing. And what were the lessons that you learned in Germany when it came to the struggles that women were having with their hair? What were the key challenges that just kept coming up?
Well, most of our clientele was either active duty military or spouses. And for those of you who don't know, military lifestyle, you have to get up at 5 in the morning and run, but you also have to be at the office at 7. And so what was happening with that traditional twist out life, because we weren't even on the wash and go then, right? that twist out life was about, you know, you got a little bit of leave-in and you got a shea butter and you got some water and some gel and some, you know, and all of that. By the time you finish, you have to dry for 2 hours, usually drying overnight, and it wasn't a practical option for the clients that I had. They were like, look girl, I gotta run, I gotta do my hair, and I have to be at the office at 7. So the challenge that I had was not only showing them and educating them on the best way to care for their hair, but also thinking, that's when I started to think about formulating products that were more water-based, that still hydrated the hair, that would dry in enough time for them to be ready and fly by the time they got to the office.
Amazing. So that means that when we're using the Doux, we're not waiting all day for our hair to dry.
No.
Amazing. I love that. I want to talk a little bit more about the DNA of the brand. So you've always stood firm on scientific integrity. And I think you've said in one of your interviews that you don't deal with the marketing fluff. No. Like, you're not selling dreams on a bottle. What's in the bottle actually works and does what it says it does. So can you tell us about the real results and what inspired you to approach the industry different to how we've seen other brands approach and market their products?
I approach this industry the only way I know how, and that's from the perspective of not only just a professional licensed stylist, but somebody who actually gets paid to produce these results on real hair. So people don't come back to me if I can't do what I say I'm going to do. People if you're a hairstylist, you know we get hired and fired every day. If people aren't able to, A, walk out with a certain result, and B, maintain that once they get home, I don't care how good you are in that little 2 hours that you have them in the chair, what you walk away and are at home with, what's between you and that mirror 2 days after, is really what tells whether or not I was good as a stylist and I sent you home with good products. So the way that I approach this industry is the same. I really want every single thing to be something that you can actually use. I don't stop developing, I don't stop formulating until the product does exactly what it says. It's important to me that I don't sell you a dream or sell you snake oil. I really want every single thing that's in the bottle, in the formula, to actually perform. If we don't need it, then we just don't need it. We just don't put it in the formula. Why put, a bunch of botanicals and a bunch of stuff to make the ingredient list longer than it needs to be, when what you really need is X, Y, and Z. And I also don't spend a lot of time worrying about the no-no ingredients. I know that there are things that are highly publicized as dangerous or toxic or whatever. The Doux is about performance, and I really lean into the professional scientific community to tell me what is effective, what is safe, Whether it's natural or synthetic, we know that everything that is natural isn't necessarily better, and everything that's synthetic ain't gonna kill you. I want to have a practical approach so that if I tell you this is going to give you a long hold, if I tell you that this is going to, combat frizz, that it actually does.
And that must be quite a laborious process. Like, it means that you can't release products every single month. You can't have a product drop every single week because there's real research and there's a real testing period. Can you talk to me a little bit about your experience in the salon and what that testing period looks like before you're happy to release a product to the general public?
How much time you got? So I really consider my product development process kind of like dropping an album. So who drops an album like every 15 minutes? Like, no, who does? Drake, right? So in this industry, right, there are the Drakes of the hair care industry. They just throw it out there because they know you'll buy it, right? And then there are the Dr. Dre's or the Sade's that kind of just like, when it's ready, it's ready. You're not gonna put no pressure on me. It is not being released until it's absolutely ready. That's really, how I approach it.
And how do you know when it's ready?
So I can back into just my development process. I don't believe in 4C hair, y'all, don't beat me up. I'm explaining later. But I start at the tightest, smallest curl size and the highest density. And first I try it on myself, because if I wouldn't use it on me, I'm not gonna sell it to you. Then I go into the tightest texture, the tightest density, and then I work my way back into 2A. Not because 2A, wavy hair, is any less important. The girls with the waves have just as much of a challenge and a struggle, believe it or not, and I say this from somebody behind the chair, as the girls with the 4C hair. It's just a different set of struggles, right? But what I've learned just in formulation is if you can service and accommodate people who have really tight curl patterns, you really are just changing and diluting or changing the styling method for people with looser curl types. So I prioritize people that are not being spoken to, whose needs have not been traditionally addressed, and make sure it works for them before I worry about anything else.
Really interesting, and you dropped a bomb there. You said that you don't believe in 4C hair.
I don't believe in that, girl. No.
Can we talk about that?
Because if you have done any research, I think I was still in high school or maybe junior high when Andre dropped the book, right? I think Andre is a legendary hairstylist in this industry. I don't think that his intention was ever to be, for us to be ready to fight in these streets over these letters and numbers. But I do think that once something isn't thoroughly explained, it was created to market his book and his product. It was never created to pander to all of you, right? What has happened is that got taken away from him. He stopped speaking about it. And it's something that everyone has used to kind of compare or self-diagnose, something that's really, really hard to quantify. You can have really, really tight curls that look dry, but they're very, very soft. So the assumption that all 4C hair is dry is not necessarily true. That all 2A hair is soft is not true. My wavy girls a lot of times have a more coarse surface texture than my girls with 4C or really tight curls. So it's not that, I want to acknowledge the fact that we all feel a way about our pattern. We all will look at our hair and see a girl in a commercial and be like, they're not like us, right? We all, and so I don't want to minimize something that's very, very real to our community is, colorism, texturism, all the isms, right? But what I'm trying to do in shaping culture from behind the chair is help people understand that those things are a lot less important when we're taking care of our hair just on an individual level and seeing ourselves as an individual. You cannot compare, you don't have a hair twin. You cannot compare your hair to someone else's, and I think that's what the letter number system does, and it causes more harm than good because now I have to spend an hour uneducating you or, uneducating you or de-influencing you from a certain system that's not real, and now re-educating you on your hair specifically.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And at TreasureTress, it's a system that we've never embraced because it always felt like a little bit of a hierarchy, where there's number one, there's number two, there's number three, then there's number four.
Right.
And that just never really sat well with us. And I think there's also this thought pattern that if you have a particular hair type, then you should use this particular product.
Right.
And if you have another type of hair, you should use this product, and you guys can't share products.
Right.
And one thing that I love about the Doux and the education that you do on your page is that you show the same products being used on various different hair types.
That's
really
how it
essential?
works in the shop, right?
Yeah,
that's how it really works in real life. That's how it really works.
Yeah.
And what I see a lot of the 4C community, and don't beat me up, y'all, because I am you, I come in peace, is that the term 4C is being used, it's synonymous with dry, or hard to do, or it's frustrating. The second I get tired of doing it, I just got 4C hair. I'm 4C. The second it is not as soft as I like, or not as easy to manage as I like, then I just must be 4C. It's kind of like already ingrained in the way that we think and see ourselves, that it is inferior or exclusive to only us, and a lot of people don't get that we're just literally talking about a size of curl that can be that plus anything else.
Absolutely. So going back to Drake, I would love to know what inspired the 90s nostalgic hip-hop theme and energy that just runs all the way through the brand. Where did that come from?
So I was born, I'm an 80s baby, I was born in 1979, so I'm like on the cusp, right? So I was growing up, my first impressions of this industry as a hairstylist, as a service provider, when I was 10 was in the 90s. So do y'all have In Living Color? Did you have any of like the?
Yeah.
So In Living Color, Living Single, all of the what I believe creatively is, not only one of my greatest artistic influences, just that really kind of turned me on as an artist, was in the 90s. So
did you make music, Maya? I feel like you might tell us that.
I come from a musical family, whole nother story. But I didn't, and I have no bars, like no bars. But I grew up seeing, which I think it was an era in hip hop culture that was very, very creative, very colorful, very political, very conscious. And what was really unique about, particularly the early 90s, was there was a lot of affirmation and positive talk in music about Black women. It was hip hop was very, very reaffirming and positive. There were a lot of positive female artists, and men in hip hop spoke, for the most part, very positively about Black families, about Black people, about Black women. So that feeling has always just kind of resonated. In high school, my husband and I met in the mid-90s in high school, and I started cosmetology school in 95. So the Doux is really just like a reflection of the beginning of my career, and it's something that is also, the musical references are things that me and my clients always bond over in the salon.
I love it. Speaking of music references, so from Bonita Bomb to Mousse Def, and with Mousse Def being the #1 mousse in the textured hair game, which is a big flex, what makes it that girl? Like, what is it about that product?
Okay, so let's start with, Bonita Afro Bomb was our very first product. We was gonna call it something completely different. And I was like, this just makes the most sense, right? I didn't think anybody would even get it or like it, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm a huge Tribe Called Quest fan. I was like, this is what it needs to be. My husband and I are huge Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mousse Def fans. Like one of our favorite love songs is a Mousse Def song, right? And I was actually going to call Mousse Def something else. It was gonna be, well, I can't tell you that because I might use it later. But I didn't have really a name, like, and people weren't using at the time, even calling a curl foam mousse wasn't a thing. It was just foam.
Yeah.
And it was actually my husband Brian. I was like, yeah, we should call it. He was like, no. He was like, that's Mousse Def. And I was like, yes, right.
Big up Brian.
It's Mousse Def, right? So shout out to Brian, who is actually the originator of the Mousse Def name. Now, what is interesting about what was happening in the hair care culture at that time is no one, and this is on paper, you can go look it up, you can go check out the data. There had been wrap foams, wrap lotions for curly hair, but no one was using that to style their curls. And they were not calling it mousse. Mousse just happens to be the biggest thing you see on the bottle. So I stand 10 toes down on this. Every single product that says mousse on it, that's referring to curls in the natural hair industry, is really following the Mousse Def, the Doux blueprint, because we are the first curl foam that people are even calling mousse. It's actually Mousse Def texture foam. But what's more important, I'm just tooting my own horn, I gotta get that out. I gotta get that out because I see so much, I'm like, no, we are the blueprint. But the reason, what makes Mousse Def the blueprint is it is the first one product styler formulated specifically for all curl types to style curls. So culturally, we were all doing curl creams, or we were doing like some weird combination of what I call butter custard jelly pudding. We were doing some butter, some leave-in, some gel, something weird. Usually make boogers in your hair, and what we did was really culture shift the way everybody is styling. Even if you don't use mousse exclusively to style your curls, which I'll show you how to do today, everyone is using some combination of a mousse and a gel or a mousse and a cream. So what's really special about that product, not only is that we were first, but that we were able, which my intention was, to change and help people get faster results with one product.
Mm-hmm. That is brilliant. And when you look at your full product range, of all of them, which was the hardest to formulate and which one are you most proud of?
So the hardest one to formulate, okay, you want to know a secret? Well, it's not here yet, so I kind of don't want to.
Oh.
It's not here yet. It's not here. Well, okay, so out of these four?
Yeah.
I would still say Mousse Def I worked on Mousse Def for like 3 years before it came out.
Wow.
Yeah. Because to get that kind of performance, you usually have to have a lot of no ingredients. And foams, because if you ever tried anything before Mousse Def back in the day, it made the hair real waxy and hazy. Like it would do it, but you couldn't have a whole bunch in your hair and just let it dry because it would be like kind of gray. Mm-hmm. So there was that issue. That was one of the things that I kept running into. Or it would just be like rock hard. It would seize up on you. Right. So it took me a minute to create that.
And so that's the one that you're most
Mousse
proud
Def
of?
it was definitely a labor of love. Even though Bonita Afro Bomb was the first one, mm-hmm. Mousse Def was intense. And as you're talking to me about these products, I'm still developing. I go through this season every year I call Gel Hell. That I'm testing a styler, a gel, some hybrid, some concoction we came up with. It's happening that is my job for the brand. Like now, my clients hate me, so I can't keep a regular book because I'm always traveling. So what I really do at the Doux is I come into the HQ and I test all these formulas, and I'm in gel hell right now. I'm working on some new stuff, and I'm like, it's almost there, but it's not quite right. Like that's my job, is to make sure that when you get home in your mirror, you're not cussing me out because it's flaking. That's my job.
Wow. Well, we can't wait for the next mixtape to drop. We will be waiting.
I can't wait.
And then wrapping it up, because I know that we're tight on time and we can't wait to see the products in action. But you're already a trendsetter. You've explained to us how you've changed the market and led the market, with Mousse Def being a perfect example of that. What does legacy look like for you when it comes to the Doux?
For me, and I'm glad that you use that word, because I think that part of like hair care legacy is 100% about the people that came before you. I'm literally standing on the shoulders of a lot of legacy brands, And so even though I feel like, you know, the Doux is what's new, it's what's next, it is what is a newer development, it's still, everything that I create is still an adaptation or an improvement on what I believe is Black excellence and Black innovation. So I, in no way, want to minimize what we call as like an old school, like Lester, like, you know, Dudley. There are so many Black-owned, Black originators that have created incredible brands. And there's no way that I would be here. I know what I know about hair care because of the products and the innovation that came before me. And I still think about the Doux in the same way. I want to be one of those brands that, you know, little Maya right now, that's 10 years old, somewhere answering phones, and I don't even have phones in the shop no more, but, you know, I want to inspire people to stand on my shoulders and to, you know, not too soon, but eventually, you know, find something that they can do with Mousse that they can, you know, put some vibranium in it or something, where, you know, take what I've left the culture, take what, you know, the culture that I hopefully help to shape, and improve it, so that everybody in this room, our kids and grandkids, start to get the quality of products, the quality of products that we deserve. And that happens with Black innovation. So that's my legacy, is leaving that part behind.
And then one more question before we hit the quickfire questions. For the product junkies in the room, I would love to know from you, Maya, what's one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first putting those jars on the shelf? What have you learned in the last how many years?
Brian's looking at me like, I'm trying to keep it short. You know, I go all day. Say that one more time, because I want to be honest.
What's one thing that you now know that you wish you knew when you were first putting your products on the shelf?
I think that what I wish that I knew at that moment was that I would still be ever evolving as an artist and as a stylist. And that even now, we launched in 2012, so, you know, it's been 13 years. I had no idea at that time that I would even still see hair care differently than I do now. Case in point, our first tagline was smart chicks with real hair. Because in my salon, there was no weave allowed, there was no braids allowed, because it was pulling everybody's hair out. Because the techniques. So if you came and got your hair done at the honeycomb, you could still get a relaxer. But it was blowouts, twist outs. I didn't touch anybody's hair that was not yours, because I felt like Black women were not prioritizing our hair. Fast forward over a decade, the techniques, the quality of hair, the education, the level of education that stylists have for extensions and wigs, and it's just, y'all going off. The generation after me has really developed its own lane, and the techniques and the methods that we're using as a industry are a lot safer. It gives us more options. Now we got afro kinky curly clip-ins, and it's just a different world.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that when I launched the Doux, that I would feel different as an artist about what I'm seeing today. And I feel like the Doux is a much more inclusive brand than it was when we first launched.
I love that. All right, quick fire before I kick off the stage. Do's and do nots. You see what I done there? Do's and do nots of hair care. So quick, one do and one do not.
Do put a shower cap on your head immediately after you get out the shower. Stop using them daggum spray bottles. It's not, just keep your hair wet. As soon as you get out, bag it.
Oh. Okay, Maya. And do not.
Do not use leave-in conditioner if you are trying a new styler that has hold. I'm not saying I hate leave-in. I make 2 of them. But it is impossible, and do not, you said one, but so, do not use, if you're trying out a new product, don't use another product with it. There's no way to truly understand the formulation of one product if you're creating a new formula by adding something else. So if you're trying to do for the first time and you love such and such leave-in conditioner, even if it's mine, if you use them together, you still don't know what Mousse Def do. You created a new formula. You out here just doing whatever. So if what you want to do is learn individually how a product works, then you have to use it isolated. And if you don't love it, now you know what to add. It's just like cooking. You know, if you don't know when you have a baby and you're giving them peas, if you're giving them peas and carrots and bananas, you don't know what bulk amount. You have to do things individually for you to figure out what your combo and what your mix is.
Beautiful. Naomi's just going to give me a okay. And then give me a do and a do not for business. One.
Do trust yourself. The instinct, the very thing that you put in your head that makes you want to create or start a business. People that love you, people that admire you, friends of yours will be, out of love for you, can be afraid of you taking what, in a lot of times, you know, seems like a leap, and they'll hate on your plan, but out from a good place. They'll love you into a place of fear.
Right.
So the beginning is very lonely. Brian and I, we were like, yeah, we want to do whatever, and people were like, yeah, okay. You know? And I didn't take it personal because I knew it was coming from a place of love. They were scared for us. We had 5 kids, and we were, you know, just jumping out. You know, Brian was, you know, military salary. I'm out here doing all the things, you know. And so trusting yourself is essential to doing anything new, even if you aren't starting a business, but trust yourself.
Do not.
You're supposed to help me out over here. Oh yeah, there you go. That part. There will be times in your journey, if any of you who have started a business, I don't care what it is, right? If you are starting something new and God gives you a dream in your heart, sometimes it's just between you and Him.
Yeah.
If you're married, then y'all touch and agree on it, but almost all of the ventures that Brian and I have gone on, the journeys that we've gone on together, we just kept in covenant between the two of us. We pray about it, we talk about it, we plan, and it's not even like, oh, we're trying to be top secret or weird about it, but we've learned that the dream, the thought, it's not for us, it's coming through us.
Absolutely.
And the dream that God gives you a lot of times isn't for everybody to know about. It's about you to watch Him work in. And if you release it too soon, other people start to get involved, or you can get confused and unsure of yourself. And you always feel crazy when you're doing something new. So the last thing that you need is other people and other circumstances interrupting what you know you heard. So that thank you, baby. That's it.
And then, last but by no means least, give us a do for staying true to yourself and a do not when you're trying to stay true to yourself.
Do you. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of, now we have I come from the MySpace generation, so now we got TikTok and Instagram, and there's so many distractions, all the information, everything that's happening in the world, we're consuming in real time. So even as an artist and a brand owner myself, I find myself distracted by all these cool things that are happening for other people, right? Things that I want to do, things that I'd like to do. Really sticking to what you know you're supposed to be doing, because if I step off my square, who's gonna be me? You know, it's really easy to get distracted and you know, want to be in somebody else's lane. But what I see, even, you know, I don't want to say too much, but where I see a lot of really brilliant artists and creatives go wrong is not trusting themselves enough to stay on what they're doing. They want to do what this person is doing, and as soon as they jump over, here comes somebody in their lane. And it doesn't feel good when you know that God told you to do this.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my biggest advice, is just to do you. Trust that it's not just this bright idea that you have, that thing that keeps you up at night is for somebody else. A lot of times. It's not necessarily even for you, it's for you to serve and be in service to somebody else.
Absolutely, that is brilliant. And the last thing you'll do not for staying true to yourself, or something to not do when you're trying to stay true to yourself and remain authentic.
Don't stay too long. You gotta know when to shake. I mean, I'm from Cali, so we say shake. You gotta know when to shake. There are moments that you get that feeling, whether it's you're leaving or you leaving somebody, right? Where you know something is over, a season, a door is closing. If you stay a day too long, a lot of times it's too late. So my granddaddy used to say, I don't have to eat the whole cow to know it's beef. I don't know if that means anything. Sometimes you know what you know, right? But you don't know why you know it. You ever been in a situation like, I don't know why, but go with and just stop there. I think that's what I'm learning. I'm 45. That's what I'm learning in this big age is to not wait for people or things or situations to show you every single detail as to why. We're always waiting on an explanation to understand why we feel a way. Go with the feeling, that feeling in your gut, whether, I call it the Holy Spirit, you can call it what you want. But that thing in you that's pulling you in the opposite direction or making you pause is the most true, real, authentic part of yourself. It comes from a place that was there before you were born. And if you can follow that without having to have all the details, you cannot fail. You cannot fail.
Amazing. That was sensational and filled with so much wisdom, so thank you so much. I am now going to clear the stage and hand over to Dion. No?
There's some questions.
We have some questions, sorry guys, I'm not following the agenda. Right, does anyone have any questions for Maya? Raise your afro pick, please.
Oh,
visual. Over here.
So I just want to know, so I've just been waiting for a long time for these to come to the UK. When's everything else coming?
Soon comes, like we're working on it. Y'all know, because you grew up here, I'm assuming. UK regulations, regulatory, all of that. We don't want to just throw our products out there. We don't know where it is, who's doing it, it's important to us to be in compliance, and that is a very tedious, long process. And it's important to me to make sure that anything that you touch with my name on, like, that's my real face. If you look closely, it's a cartoonized version of my face from a real picture on the top of those jars. I don't want anything to be here that's meant to serve you and help your everyday life that's not authentic, that hasn't been cross-checked, that ain't made it through customs. If it's not legit, I don't want it here. And that's why we haven't flooded the market with a bunch of, knockoff, bootleg, I can get it through to you. I know a guy. But it's
Like, send it to me, it's fine.
It's important to me, though, in outlets like we're in Boots now, about to hit Superdrug, that the products are accessible. So when you're just on your way to work, you can stop and grab something. But it's most important to me that you get the best, that you get my best. I don't care that you are across the pond. As a matter of fact, I lived here. I lived in Europe. It's more important to me, like, you being here doesn't change the fact that I owe you my best. I really do want everybody that's here to get the best of the products, and there's no way for me to really guarantee that without going through the proper channels. And unfortunately, it's something else getting over here to y'all, but it's coming.
Amazing, thank you. Kimberly?
Oh, sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Hi, so I'm Kimberly, and I, as a stylist who really focuses, and I would like to call myself a bit of a product snob, so I really resonated with what you said is you've got to use each product on its own, and I do what I call a lot of vigorous testing. I'll use it with one thing, then a different shampoo, then a different conditioner, and use them singly. And my daughter's been allergic to everything under the sun when it comes to the hair care market. I've flown to the US and brought back 45 kg suitcases just to try and find something, including your product. And out of the 10 years that I have been searching, it's the only thing that I found that has not given her an allergic reaction. Thank you because again, this has been a consistent battle for me for 10 years, and I don't want to get emotional about it, but for giving her something that I've been searching for, I want to express my deepest gratitude. But I want to know, I'm the consumer and the professional, so I want to know, how did you find balancing the high street with the professional? Because because it's the only other product in my salon that I carry, that I advise to my clients, but it's because they can use it then. Because it's the only other product in my salon that I carry, that I advise to my clients, but it's because they can use it then.
And then I transitioned into what we call, contract manufacturing or product manufacturing. And what I didn't know till I got on the side is that what makes a product a professional product is who develops it. Same sources, same ingredients, a lot of the times the same labs are creating, formulating, batching, filling these products, right? Who develops the product is what determines the quality of the product. And what a lot of people don't know, because when you heard about the Doux, we were already like in drugstore. The Doux is a professional brand. The Doux was used exclusively in my salon for what, 5-6 years before it ever got to retail. So it's a professional brand that was just in my salon, directly to my clients and to my stylist friends who wanted to carry it in their salons as well. We got the opportunity to go to Target and Walmart, American mass drug. And because of my military background, I had so many of my clients that would move somewhere and be like, I can't get to a salon. I can't buy what I got at the salon. All we got is what do I do? And there was never a product that I felt comfortable as a stylist, with my professional integrity saying, use this instead. So I wanted to go where my girl was at. In real life, y'all not going to the salon every single day, but you hit in the drugstore, you go into the grocery store. It was really important to me that people with textured hair had access to salon quality products wherever they are. That should not be an experience that's exclusive to people with straight hair. And if you have straight hair, you can hop in the drugstore and get a lot of these, what we call high-end or salon-exclusive brands. But the truth is, all brands, that line of professional and drugstore or masstige or prestige was completely blurred, if not erased, during COVID. Because what we learned from the professional side and the drug side is that people are doing their hair at home. And so you guys are much more informed consumers, you're much more discerning. And so the choice that you're using is 100% based on results. You'll use that cheap gel if that's what's hidden. You'll use the $30 gel if you feel like that's what's hidden. But I've never felt like it was okay for somebody with hair like mine to have to pay $30 for some hair gel. It just did not make sense to me. I don't think that we should have to step outside of our neighborhoods to have excellent quality products. Hey girl. I like your hair. Thank you.
I feel like you should introduce yourself.
I'm Michelle. I make natural hair. Oh no, I really don't want to. Thank you so much. Doesn't matter who I am. I'm a massive fan. I've been using your products for over 3 years. Just to hear your story, your drive, what motivates you, the fact that you brought up your tribe, the things that you're trying to leave for the community. Oh. All I want to know is what keeps you grounded? What is your self-care routine? Who is your tribe? Because the aura you give off and just what you're doing with this brand, nobody else is doing this. Period. I just gotta know.
First of all, let me back up. I felt like crying when I came down here. I really did, because this is, we're in a lot of spaces, and the energy that I really feel, everybody here, this is the most authentic environment that I've been in a really long time. So thank you all for that. I'm just really grateful. I'm not, I'm definitely not a nun. I ain't no saint like that. Right? But I, just like all of us, right? I'm a black girl in this world that has been through a lot, that survived a lot. I should not be here. And so, like I said before, I believe that everything that I've been able to create it happened through me, that if I wasn't available and willing to do it, God would have done it, and he should do it through somebody else. Everything that I do, I'm trying my best just to be a vessel to serve, to think of y'all first. I gotta make money like everybody else. I got, babies to feed, right? But what drives me, what grounds me to answer your question is just my awareness that what I have, what I'm like, hello, right? It's not for me. It is my greatest honor, really, to be, and I don't want to try to like sound like all noble and all of that, right? But it is such a deep honor. I feel like I'm doing my life's work to do something for you that you couldn't or wouldn't necessarily do for yourself. I got skills with my hands as a hairstylist. Like that has been, my bread and butter for most of my adult life. But to be able to take what I learned accidentally, things that I didn't know I was even learning, and make something for you that just makes, even if it's just 15 minutes of your day, a little better. I'm just grateful that I get to be the person or one of the people. I have an incredible team of people, but I get to be, a leader in the force that help you make that happen. So I'm just grateful. So thank you. Thank you.
One more question. Who else is?
Thank you. So, hi, my name is Anthea. Jamelia is my niece. And she's the one that invited us here, and we're from across the pond as well. I am really relating to you, because I have two daughters, thank you so much for picking this up, two daughters that have food allergies. And nuts, so shea butter is not going to work on them, the like or whatever. So first of all, you will continue to be blessed, Maya, because you are so authentic. You are so sincere and humble, and you can tell this bond between you and your husband is just there. So you will continue to be. So God bless you.
Thank you. And
all of the questions that everybody's been asked. So that was my biggest thing. I just wanted to just show some love. Thank you for inviting us. But I do want to ask you, did you love organic chemistry or something in high school? Yeah, how did you get into this?
So what I will say is that in beauty school I learned a lot about chemistry through formulation, color, all of that. And I had a really, really good team of mentors. So, and I'm a dinosaur technically in this industry where after 25 years, if you're still even messing with hair, I have a library in my brain of everything that's been made since I was like 10. So understanding how those things are formulated, and really just, I'm a nerd in that way where I appreciate all of the legacy of all of these brands that have created things before me. I study their founders. I've studied Cornell McBride and Dudley and Luster. Like, those are people, don't forget about them. Those are still Black-owned businesses that have created something extraordinary for us. So learning about their philosophies, the things that they've endured, the way that they see hair care, why they created Willie Morrow. Why did you create the Jerry curl? We chuckle about the Jerry curl now, but that's Black innovation.
Exactly.
So like my appreciation for formulation is how I kind of have like a catalog of like, okay, well these ingredients, no, but can I take this, remix it, make it more skin friendly, make it better, change the fragrance, adapt the formulation so it's better for hair and better for skin, and elevate the performance so that, again, I'm able to adapt and build upon what was already the bomb. Like now we got new technology, now we have better labs. Now there's a whole market of people that are really listening to us now because textured hair is popping. So now there's a whole industry that wants to invest in Black hair care because we are putting our money in it. Taking advantage of that is how I think about formulation and elevating products.
Love it, love it. And we're going to take one more question from the audience. This lady is next.
Thank you so much. Massively inspired by your story and your journey, and just reflecting on what you've said and how candid you feel about your faith especially. How have you kept hope in the valley knowing that you've got this vision of the mountaintop?
I'd rather take me to church. And I always hold them tears back when they were crybaby, but I just know, like I said, I shouldn't be here. And in those dark moments, I knew that there was something that was supposed to come through me. And that's why I am really candid about it, because not for one moment will I ever be too fly to tell somebody that this has nothing to do with me. This is all God's grace, His glory, His favor, His hand of favor, and most importantly, His protection. I write a book one day and tell you the whole story later, but you're literally looking at somebody that should not be here. And so my awareness of that, knowing it's like, you know, when you escape something that should really, you know, end your life and end your livelihood, that awareness has always pulled me forward. And my gratitude and just knowing that I get to pour into someone else, I get to be the person, I get to be the help that somebody was to me. That's just, it's my assignment. Hair care is my ministry. Those quiet moments, that's why I don't want us to lose it, y'all, in the salon. Like, stick in there with your old school stylist. Stick in there we struggling in these streets with hairstylists and the Hey Boo text and all of that. But if we lose the black salon, we lose that sense of community and fellowship and sisterhood that is literally so deep in our DNA that in a way that we don't even understand. That has been my ministry. That's what holds me together is y'all. The Doux is created from your story, all of y'all stories. All the things that we talk about when you're sitting here and I'm doing your hair, me listening to what scares you, what hurts you, what makes you laugh, what products you love, what products you hate, all of those things, the products and what we create is just an amalgam of that. So that's what makes me stay in this. Because if I knew, it's kind of like having a baby. If I knew how much it hurt, I probably wouldn't have done it. What keeps me in it is the fact that, like, I get to do this. Like, you know, I get to make something for you that you can't make for yourself, or do your hair. You can't really get that part right. I get to do that for you. It's a blessing.
Wow. I'm actually speechless, and I feel like I just keep saying thank you, but honestly, Brian, Maya, thank you so much. And I'm going to hand over to Dion so that we can see you work your magic.
Can we make some more noise, please? You got a sermon, you got the story, you got the exclusives, you got the books, you got the whole thing. Honestly, absolutely grateful to hear just even a little snippet. So whilst we set up for the demo, guess what, guys? There's some prizes to be given away! You get a prize, you get a prize! Definitely not pause. So, we have our bingo winner announcement. Oh, goodness. Give yourselves a... I wasn't clear, I'm sorry. Well, thank you for following. Alright, so we're going to announce our bingo winners. I think we've got 2 winners. We've got 2 winners? We've got 1. Is it 1? Oh, sorry, it's 1. No. Suspense. Alright, we've got our bingo winners. Are we ready for the name? Are we ready? Our bingo winner is... Dion Reed! Oh! Thank you so much! Thank you so much. Okay, our winner is... Gabby! Gabby, saying you can't bring this for me. Round of applause for Gabby, everybody! And alongside Gabby, there's also... Oh, no?
No, somebody else.
Oh, no, I was going to say something else. What you talking about? What you talking about? The special golden ticket. That's what I'm talking about. So, if you've got your bags... Have you got a bag? Alright, in your bag, apparently, Charlotte and Chocolate Factory came through secretly. And there is a secret golden ticket. If you have got a golden ticket,
No way.
you have won 2 million hugs from me. But there is a golden ticket and there is a prize that comes with that golden ticket. So y'all, look closely. You got golden ticket! Do I have to do the hugs now?
It's 2. It's 2. Oh, wow.
There's more golden tickets.
There's 2.
There's 2 golden tickets. 2? Somebody.
That's why it's in the end.
Congratulations on what you're going to get! So your prize is actually going to be revealed later on. You can get the hugs if you want to, but I'm still going to charge you. Okay, so are we ready for the cover? Okay, so whilst we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to check and see who's in the building. Do we have this? Do we have the stylists? Did we talk about who the stylists are in the building? Yeah. Can we put up your hands with your stylists? This is the time to promote your business. Stand up, stylist, please. Can I see you? All right. So can you tell me your name and your company, or where we can find you if you want to?
My name is Maria, but I work for a company called Jennifer Effie's Hair Solutions. So
Who was it called?
Jennifer Effie's
Hair
Solutions.
Yeah.
So we look after people with cancer and alopecia.
Oh, wow. Jennifer Effie's Hair Solutions. Round of applause.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. My business is called My Nice Salon, which stands for My Nice.
Say again, please.
My Nice Salon.
My Nice. I'm trying to make sure everyone can hear it. That's why I'm trying to.
It stands for My Natural Years, and I specialise in locks and natural hair.
Oh, amazing. And yours, sir?
So my name's Kimberly and I have a salon called the Curl Clinic, and we are the first accredited education in the UK that teaches stylists or consumers how to look after their natural hair, and it's a salon that's dedicated to anybody whose hair doesn't dry straight.
Over there.
Hi, I'm Afro, or the Fro Fairy, and my...
You're the what? The Fro
Fairy.
The Fro Fairy. Nice. Love it.
By that name, or growth hair, but GROATH.
Growth hair, yeah?
Yeah, natural hair.
Yeah. Where can we find that?
On social media, you type in Fro Fairy or growth hair, so it's like O's in that, it's only true.
Alright, give them a round of applause, please. Let's just check who we are. Okay, so we're still talking again today about the salon, innit? I should have bought snacks. Alright, so those who aren't stylists, tell me something. Who wants to promote and say where you are, who you are, where you're from? This is if you don't stand up and come and get your blessing today, come on! What are you waiting for? Go for it.
My name is Big Way. I have a massaging wellness business called Chosen Hands. It's THE_Chosen Hands on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I just want us, especially to take care of ourselves. We know what it looks like not to. So that's why I stood up, even though I'm really uncomfortable.
No, well done. And my back, you see this section here? Thank you. I choose you. Anyway, yeah, go for it.
I'm Rashida. I have a brand called Bombastic Braids.
Bombastic braids.
Bombastic.
Green. Trying to bring beauty salon. We specialize in braids, natural hair treatments, and stuff like that.
Delicious. Right, okay, so you lot didn't take out your phone to take down all the details because you lot got business peoples in here, you know. But there will be some time at the end to network and connect and all the things in between, so make sure you do that and support each other. I think we're going to invite Renee to the stage now. Renee! Woo!
And I was ready. Pick me.
forgot I didn't have my mic on, but
I
I'm
can
loud.
be your glamorous assistant.
Yeah. Can you hear
Yeah.
me? Yeah. I'm loud. I think I'll make it.
You guys good without the mic?
Yeah. So I think I want to just show you how I do, just me, how I do a wash and go fast. Oh, thank you. Oh, you got, oh, cool. It's important to me that everybody gets at this wash and go thing, because I know that most of what we're looking for is the wash and go. I mean, we started with the twist out, that's all that it mattered. Now we want like a really quick, easy, it's backwards, hairstyle. So, and no one believes me when I say that you can just use one product to get that result. I'm sure if you want it to last for 20 years, you know, then you might want to use a stronghold gel. And that's where the combos come in. But the reason why I created these mousses was because, like I told you, I wanted to dry fast. I wanted you to get in and get out. But if it only takes you 10, 15 minutes to get your hair, you know, styled, defined, out the door, how much more likely are you to do it again in 2 or 3 days? To do it again. And so the reason why these are the blueprint and the reason why they've been such a staple in my salon, I was using them in my salon before I ever sold them, is because it's not just about, from behind this chair, it's not just about how well I'm able to style it, it's also about what your experience is when you get home. Because if you can't do it again, you're never coming back, right? And you're gonna hate your hair, you're gonna be afraid of your hair. Most of us don't like to wash our hair because it tangles. We use too much leave-in because it tangles. It's really kind of our aversion and us kind of being, we don't really wanna do the process because it's uncomfortable and it's a little scary. So products like this, products really from the Doux, everything that you use from Big Papa, gel, cream, all the mousses, all of our gels have a lot of slip, and that's for a reason. Because if you feel like you have to do 3 steps, that 3-step, 4-step thing that we've been doing on natural hair, 9 times out of 10, if you really kind of deconstruct it in your mind, like why am I doing this? It's because when you get out the shower, it's matted, right? The conditioner usually didn't do what it was supposed to do. You didn't get it detangled enough while it was still wet, and now you're doing 2 or 3 steps to just get some control over it before you put the styler on. These help you do it at one time. So if you're using this and it's not even detangled, you can just go right in and you can style and detangle and define and shine and set in 1 step. A lot less scary. And when it's a lot less scary, does it need to last 2 weeks?
No.
It's great if it does, and a lot of times it does, right? But it doesn't have to, because now I styled Sunday morning before I went to church, and it was fly. And like Wednesday, I got a date, I want some more definition, I can throw some more in, or I can wash my hair, I can start over and do another style. And it's not this horrifying process or this really tedious process, even if you have super long hair. So that's my spiel. I talked a lot. And I know you want to see it, but I want you to understand what's happening. I'm going to do one side of her hair dry. With nobody knows that you can use these products on dry hair. And the other one, I'll show you how it looks on damp hair. Would you like me to show you, and I really want to show you the difference between these two, but the truth is the ultimate look on the first day is going to be the same. It's going to be pretty similar. It's really, this has a longer wear, and the way that the curls clump is a little different, but on her hair type, it's not gonna be different. I'd rather show you a dry result versus, is that cool? So, yeah. Okay. You wanna do crazy sexy curls or Mousse step? It's up to you, crazy sexy curls. So I'm gonna start with the wet side, just for time's sake. And another thing, y'all, do you have just like regular, just get you a regular spray bottle. These are really cool. Like when I've sold some of these. But when you're like trying to really, you need to drench that hair. It needs to be soaking wet. And this, I'm just here. Oh. So I love these because they're cute, but they're better for like treatments or like leave-ins or water-based stuff, like to style, not necessarily like to hydrate. So, but the good news is our foams can be used on dry, wet, or damp hair. The reason that I like to use it on just wet, and when I say wet, like it shouldn't be dripping, it's just the hair itself is saturated with water, but there's no runoff. That's the difference between wet and dripping wet. Is because this is still, it's really concentrated product, but it still has quite a bit of water content. And when there's a lot of water, you're diluting the product. You know, it's just kind of like if you have a cup of water and you add the product to it. Too much water in the hair is going to diminish the efficaciousness of the product, right? Or the performance of the product, just because it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes you want that, but too much water in the hair is going to dilute it. So I'm going to show you on one half what I would do with the whole head. Let's just pretend, because I want to show you different on this side. It's probably too wet. Hold on. Where's your little towel? Okay, yeah, just give me one. Dripping is fine, but what I'm trying to illustrate is it doesn't have to be this in the shower type of thing, not for foams. Gels are a different story. You want as much gel in the hair as you can get, because they're a lot more concentrated and they're just made up differently, but these are different. They're mostly water, and if she wants a lot of definition, we want less water because it's already in here. So my method, for real people, if you want to do all these million little sections and all of that, go for it. My clients and I don't have time for that. You got kids, you got a job, you got real life happening. The best thing to do, I know everybody's looking like, oh my, your face is special. Oh, everybody's like, what is she? Get it in there. We don't have time for that. So I like to put everything, you see how I'm using it from skin to ends? Like I started where the hair is coming out. It should be, don't be afraid to use a lot. This formula is self-leveling, which means even though you see visibly a lot of product, the formula just compresses as it dries, and it just dries into a really microscopic kind of thing. So you're not going to get that hazing, that gray, waxy, it just dries. The quickest way to get this done in like 15 minutes is just to put it all in your hair like shampoo. And what I see, let me show you. What I see a lot of people doing is like stopping like way down here. Like you just putting the foam down here. It should touch your skin like shampoo. There you go. How long does that take? No matter if you got 4C, 3B, whatever, it's the same amount of time because we're going by how much scalp she has. So once you get it all in, let's pretend we did this with the whole head of hair. Once we get it all in, can you see? Yeah. Okay. I get a hairstyle going on. So it's a lot going on, right? Don't be afraid, just get it in there. So when you're in the morning, you hopped out the shower, go ahead and towel dry your hair. Just put it in everywhere. Then you go section it based on how you want to style it. So if she was doing a side part, I would throw it over here. You kind of block your hair off in the direction that you want it to go. And this works if you have fine hair, if you have super, super dense hair, same story. Focus on the roots. Don't worry about the ends yet. That's none of your business yet, right? Sectioning, just start in the middle. Purposes, but if you only have time and patience for 4 sections, that's fine. So she's fully hydrated, fully saturated, and I'm just gonna go, yeah, you don't have to give me my towel. Hold on, give me this towel. Wait, no, give me the ones in your hand, sorry. Yeah, this is good. My bad, y'all. So I'm just taking a big section now. This is what you see on YouTube. Yeah, you can do that. But really, if what you're trying to do is get a lot of definition, what you want to do is compress the curls in these big old clumps. It looks real ugly when you're doing it and it's still wet, right? I'm just compressing, getting all of the frizz out. using my fingers. I mean, those brushes are cute. Those new brushes are cute, but you got 5 fingers, girl. Just do it in bigger chunks. And then to create more volume, you wait until all of the hair is dry, and then you can fluff it as much as you want, and you won't have any frizz. If you're over, this is what I see on TikTok, this. And it's still like, y'all still, all of this overworking. When that dries, it's gonna be a big old frizzy mess. If you go ahead and just let it look ugly while it's drying, let your curls kind of tell you what they want to do. So just use your fingers. Like if you want to, sometimes I'll do these big old chunks like this. But if if you're a perfectionist and you got time for that, then just take your fingers. You shouldn't have a million little, see how pretty that is? Mm-hmm. Like that's what her hair wants to do. We're not trying to make her hair look like anybody else's type but hers. We just want her hair to do what it organically does. So you'll see in my videos, the aesthetic even of the curl is different because I don't really believe in all them spiral curls. I like to see just a natural organic shape and form. I like a little bit of S-curl and a little bit of, spiral here, a little wave there, because that's what her hair wants to do. And I want to amplify and enhance what her hair does organically rather than trying to trick you into thinking she got something else.
I also have different textures on both sides.
She said she has two textures on both sides. Most of us have the good hairs in the back. Then the ancestors meet us right here. And then around the sides, right down the middle, it's kind of straight. And then right in here, it's like, who did it? Like, wow. It really has a lot to do with just the way that your hair grows out of your scalp in that circle. It tends to be more coarse hair. So we want your curls to do, see I'm just detangling, I haven't touched her hair. I just put some water in it, but I'm just using a little detail comb, this is our detail comb, tippity.com. And soon that, it should be at Boots eventually, shouldn't it? Brian's giving me the no-no face.
Working on it.
I'm working on it. But yeah, see how that's going, like, it's on her scalp, like I can make a line there and you can see it should be skin to ends. Don't be afraid to go up. You're not saving product, you're just creating more work for yourself if you're being stingy and only putting it on the part that you care about. Having it at the roots is how you compress the hair and you get it to you get those roots to not be fluffy, unless you want fluffy roots. So if I wasn't talking and she was just doing this, she'll be done with this side by now.
Maya, I noticed that when you're detangling, you're not precious about starting at the end and then working your way up. How come?
Because her hair is already pretty loose. And her hair really isn't tangled, like real talk, but because look at that. It's gonna let me do what I need to do. It's really, really slippery. Now, if you have super tangled hair, yes, by all means, start at the bottom, but I know what I'm doing. So. Yeah, I'm not afraid, but look at her, and you heat style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she doesn't have a whole lot of tangles. You need a trim though. Am I in the way? Can y'all see? I'm sorry. I get in the salon mode and forget, like somebody's over here watching me. So, like this is a big enough chunk. You see what her hair wants to do, just leave it alone. Even though it looks straight, it's gonna start to, but now I'm controlling all that texture in there. I get to control that. And what a lot of you guys are experiencing is when you are styling your hair, it's like, why are the roots just doing their own thing, and you get to the bottom and it's just everything is everything. You love it. It's perfect down here, and up in here it's not. This hair right here has only been here a couple months. She's been hanging in here for a whole year. So that's detangling, that's blow drying, that's stretching, that's nighttime pineappling. That's just a lot of just manual wear and tear. So there's nothing wrong with your roots. Your roots are just more virgin than what's down here. So give yourself a break. It's supposed to kind of be a little fluffier in here because this is just new hair. So, and this hair eventually will be down here, and it's gonna start to just naturally, gradually relax because that's what hair does. So if she had more density, like meaning more hairs per square inch, I would just take smaller sections. Doesn't change the rules. Does it matter how tight her curls are? Not really. I just would take smaller. If she had super tight curls, I would take a section that was about the diameter of the curls. So if her curls were about, you know, this big, I would take that much of a section. So you know, when we say for all curl types, it's for real. The way that you're sectioning the hair changes based on what is individual to you. When I say all curl types, I'm not saying I'm gonna make your 4C hair look like my 3C hair. I'm saying if you love your 4C hair and you want your 4C hair to shine, you want it to have some definition and some volume, and you want your 4C hair to look like your best 4C hair, it's for all hair types. If you don't, then you have to use some type of either a product that's way too heavy, that doesn't wash out, or you're gonna have to do some type of chemical alternative. Another thing you notice is I go all the way like on the skin, like to the front. So there's no need to do all of that. If you don't have edge control, this is your edge control. Just put it where it needs to be. I like a natural edge if I can get one. Just let your curls, like, that's beautiful. What these little things be doing, just smooth it out and then let your natural curl pattern kind of take over. And when it dries, you just have this really pretty, organic, the tiniest curls look beautiful when it's just close to your face. And I mean, those are the things that are so unique to you. You can use the mousse for your edges, for a slick back. If you have a pixie, you can mold it with the pixie. I used Mousse Def this morning on my braids because I was getting flyaways. But what do you notice when I'm doing this? Do you see me going back? You see me playing with it? I'm not tickling her hair after I lay it down. Let it be. If it looks a little straight, mind your business. Okay. Leave it alone. Really, mind your business. Leave it alone. Because the water in her hair is going to tell her hair what to do. I can fix that. If it's just too straight, I can fix that. But we're not going to worry about that right now. We want to give her hair opportunity to do what it naturally does. That's the wet application. And that would have taken me probably 4 minutes if it was just me and you. So now I'm gonna do this side, and I'm gonna be creative. Oh, give me 1 second, real quick.
Maya, what's your average service time for a wash and go in the salon?
Oh, so I didn't mess with wash and go in the salon before. Because my clients, I was like, why are you paying me to do that? But what I did was I added it. I just need to roll around a little bit. I added it to our service just as an express for my clients that were coming in like on their lunch break. It started out as just like a lunch break service. You just need like a refresh. And it was in and out 30 minutes. Shampoo, comb you through. You could air dry, or we just diffuse you and get you out of there by lunch. Yeah, so you could get a blowout or a wash and go. Does that hurt? Like what? Let me hand it. I got burn my hand. Got it? I'm gonna spray a little bit of water just so I can blow it out. So how many of you have that pick attachment? You got the, okay. Oh, you know what? Do I have room or do I need to spin it? I'm good? Okay. You do not need a heat protectant on your hair before you use a mousse or before you stretch your hair. It's not getting hot enough to even, you don't need all that. Just trust me, you don't need all that. It's not, if you're not getting above 400 degrees, it's just an extra step that's breaking down the hole in your styler. I see a lot of people, I need to do a heat protectant, and you don't need it. It's just, you don't, I promise. It's not direct heat, you're not using a flat iron, so it's just not necessary. The polymer in these is enough to protect your hair from the heat. The only thing that, your traditional heat protections do is diffuse the heat away from the hair shaft. And at this is not enough heat to be worried about. I prefer to stretch the hair first. If you, okay, so let me back up. How many of you do a wash and go, and then you go stretch your hair afterwards? Many times, I find more often than not, okay, that's why my hearing is gone from talking over blow dryers for 30 years. Many times, I find more likely than not, if you just blow dry with your pick attachment first and then style it, you get a better result than if you sat up under the dryer, went through all of that, and then stretched it. Okay, and I know everybody's anti-air dry, but what's happening? And her hair's fine. That's exactly how we left it. And I think, to me, that's the biggest difference between Mousse Def and Crazy Sexy Curl, is because of that honey. This does stay defined without swelling. This is better for, if you are an air dryer, this is better for air dry, because Mousse Def is more formulated to create volume once it dries. This is gonna stick a lot longer. I'm gonna stand in front of y'all sort of while I do this. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this side. So instead of doing it everywhere, like I did, let me section off, stop being lazy. Instead of sectioning it, putting it all on at one time, now that I blew her out, we're gonna do basically the same method, but we'll do it in sections so her hair doesn't curl up as fast.
Does anyone have any questions while Maya's demoing? Is there anything that she's done that raises?
Really quickly, so with the wet side, we've left the mousse to do it safe. Are you pro mousse cast before you diffuse, or?
You mean let the
How long would you usually?
No, you can go right in. You can go right in. Just, yeah. You can, so the question that you're asking, I think, is should I let it kind of set and marinate before I start diffusing? If you're gonna diffuse at all, the sooner the better, because the reason that you're diffusing is to hurry up and freeze the hair, basically freeze this position. And the longer you wait, the more shrinkage you're gonna have, which is fine. Shrinkage is our friend.
If you want more shrinkage, then.
Yeah, if you want, if you're a person that likes a softer, I like to air dry because I just like a softer, mushier curl, but that's me.
Yeah.
So there's no, oh, don't air dry. You can. You just have to understand how the product behaves based on the way it's formulated, and you are going to get a softer curl. This has a lot of conditioner in it. Mousse Def, a lot of conditioner in it. So you're going to get a softer curl if you don't hurry up and diffuse it. But I don't always want the cast from the diffusing. I prefer just a more natural. That's me, just me. If you like a cast, go straight to your. So same thing. This time I'm going up to. I'm not going to her scalp yet, because I want her ends to curl just enough. So I want you to see just the difference in the way the curls will lay. Wet completely and dry. I know I already said that, but. And the reason why I'm leaving her roots alone is because we don't want it to shrink all the way up. We just want her curls. This also, oh, I forgot. Twist out. This same thing, like blow it out first and do a dry twist out and put a rod at the end. Girl. It looks like you did something or you bought that hair. It completely transforms the way your hair wet.
Are you doing Mousse Def or Crazy Sexy Curl on the side?
It's Crazy Sexy Curl, because they said that's what they wanted.
Right.
So I can talk to you a little bit about what the difference is. I don't want you to miss out on the magic of Mousse Def. Crazy Sexy Curl is more, I would say it's more, think clumping. Mousse Def clumps very well also, but it's more volume. So Crazy Sexy Curl is going to compress the curls. It has that hyaluronic acid and the honey in it, so it's stickier. Which for my smaller curl types, tighter curl types, and people that really want humidity resistance is gonna be a better performance for you because you want more sticky. If you like more volume, it has a softer hold, but really when I say a softer hold, it's just not, it's just more volumizing. Crazy Sexy Curl has a lot of curl memory. I wouldn't even call it like, I wouldn't say it has a strong hold. It's, both of the holds are really flexible. They're designed to define. Mousses are more for definition. Gels are for hold. That's why you want, if you're using, I told you the rules for mousse are wet, dry, damp, right? Gel, wet, soaking wet, and dripping wet. Because a gel is water loving, it needs the water to glide through the hair. If you don't have enough water in your hair when you're using a gel, that's how you get flaking, hazing, stuff like that. So even though I'm not on her roots, because we're trying to avoid shrinkage, you see how her hair is fully saturated. I'm not being stingy. I'm squeezing the product through her hair to make sure it's in every section. And it's just my little 5 fingers, no fancy brush. And because it's dry, I'm just using my finger at the end to whoop, just kind of. Yeah. So this, go ahead, babe.
I just wondered, like, what's the difference if you were to do, like, preparation for, like, a styled, like, an actual collected style, as opposed to washing hair? Would you do, like, a similar technique, or would it be?
Same thing. Same thing. So let's pretend we're gonna do a flat twist. Same thing. Blow dry it off first. Flat twist, you can get away with putting the mousse a little closer. You can put it on the skin if you want to, because it's not gonna, it's still gonna, the hair's already stretched. But if you wash and go, I would just leave the roots alone because you'll get more movement. Wash and go, you want to, do this, and if you start at the roots, it's still a beautiful result, but you're going to be a little bit more stiff. Some people like that because it lasts longer. But again, I think we need a reframe, and we need to de-influence ourselves on long holds. Because the goal should really be adopting a routine that allows you to do your hair, care for your hair from wash to dry more frequently, because that's what really changes the texture and the condition of your hair. Doesn't matter how good the products are, how moisturizing they are. Let me show you something else too. If you're not doing your hair frequently and it's not being exposed to water, just water, not leave-in, not all the concoctions and the potions that we make, but water and soap. If it's not being cleansed regularly, the condition of the hair, like the structure of the hair, is going to be compromised when it's not being cleansed regularly. So the whole philosophy in creating products that you can style with faster is to get you to do your hair more. If I see you as a client twice a month, and on your off week, you washed your hair, I can always tell. It's soft, it's hydrated, I don't have to work so hard to get through it. you just have a different head of hair. My clients came back to me in a much better condition when I noticed that they were caring for their hair in between their salon visits. Side note, I know I said stay off the scalp back here, but this is, again, this is the fun area. So this is the part just right around her edges and her nape where I do want to put a little bit more product because I want to smooth her edges without her having to swoop-de-doo. You know, if you into baby hair, because I am, fine. But you know, I'm only putting it there, not everywhere.
Question.
Yeah.
When would you, hello, by the way, when would you recommend the combo of the
That's a loaded question. My team is smiling at me. All right. Oh, and a small, I'm gonna answer you. Hold on. And don't let me forget what you asked.
No, I wait.
The little short pieces, just go ahead and saturate those because they're not gonna hang. So like her little, yeah, we want those to be how we want them to be when it dries because once I go back, I'm not gonna touch that. The combos. There are Doux approved combos, okay? And I'm going to give you a list of Doux approved combos. However, however, every single one of these products can stand on their own. The combos are really things that y'all have made, and I'm not mad at that. Like, to me, it's fun. Right, I get it. I'm a girl. I get it. Like, it's fun. It's always great to find a hack, something that you came up with that like the dude don't know about. Please share it. If it worked for you and it makes your day and your hair care experience better, do you. But I don't want you to feel like you have to because you don't. There is a product that we created specifically for a combo. It's not here yet. You guys have probably seen 808 base gel. This goes with Mousse, but it is a base gel. It's not even made to wear alone. You can, but it was formulated to be a combo product. You can use Mousse Def and Big Papa. You can use Mousse Def and cream. I recommend using those after. I would base with Mousse Def and then use those on top. Base with cream first and use Mousse Def to define, add a little bit more crunch or add a little bit more hold to cream. Big Papa, what I found is that it depends on the hair and the desired result. If you want to use the mousse before you use the gel or the gel before the mousse. Very similar result. I noticed that you get more movement when you use the mousse first. Other combos. Crazy Sexy Curl and another product that ain't here yet. B-Girl.
Yeah.
Great combo. But you gotta control your combos. And the reason why I let you do that and I mind my business is because a lot of times it can go wrong. If you're using a combo, whatever you're using as your base, you need to use less of. So I'll see people use a ton of gel and then you're using a ton of mousse on top. You gotta pick a struggle, use your gel as your base, so that should be almost combed through like a leaf instead of your leave-in, distributed all over the hair, but it's really not defining and styling the curls, and then you define with the mousse on top. Don't spend all day defining every gel curl, and then you're using just as much mousse as you are gel. You're using one product as a base and one as the topper, and the base doesn't necessarily usually go on. It should be applied like a styler. Am I making sense? And really, tell me if I'm not making sense, and I'll elaborate.
Elaborate.
Okay. And I wish I could like bring my I have my little TikTok reels that I'm like all the things people do wrong. But I don't want to get beat up, so I won't show anybody what it is. But I'll see somebody take a B-Girl gel, right? Or a gel, okay, said gel. And they'll go in and they'll use the whole, use gel and style the section fully with the gel. Or they'll take the gel, put gel in there like this, use a whole lot of gel the way that you would for if you were just using just gel, and then they'll take just as much mousse or just as much leave-in or just as much somebody else's product and add just as much on top. And you don't want equal parts. You're using one as your base, one as your topper. And so instead of doing that, like if I was using cream, I would distribute cream. You saw how I did this? I would do it all over that section and comb it through like you did back in the day when you were a kid, like moisturizer. The product is still doing what it's formulated to do. It's still going to give you hold. It's still a curl cream. You just don't want to style it, styling every single curl and then using just as much product to top it is going to give you too much product, too much buildup, can make hair big boogers, and if you use anybody else's product or another product on top of that, that's where the flaking starts, because it's just too much product. So
it's like more frosting and less cake.
Yeah.
I'm picking up the keep us down.
Yes, Martine, absolutely.
Is there a difference between the setting mousse and styling mousse? They look the same, feel the same. Can you wrap it and put
They're
it
the
back
same thing.
there?
It's the same thing. So you use a styling mousse to set, and what you do with the mousse is what determines whether it's a styling mousse or a setting mousse. This is a styling mousse today because I styled her whole head with this as my stylish. If I was using something else as a base and I wanted to add the mousse, then that would be my. But no, semantics.
Sorry, I have like a two-part question. The first one is, what would you find them here in regards to like traditional gels that are usually alcohol-based, like bright fruit?
Don't say that.
Bright fruit to like a flaxseed gel, or something natural, like a gummy or whatever. What would you say in regards to that in terms of recommendations? And secondly, when integrating the whole LCO, LOC, is there room for gel, and how does one avoid the crunchiness that's almost inevitable when you overload the product?
So let me go to your first question, which is, I'm reiterating because my brain just went all the way over it. You want to know what side of the spectrum of gels I recommend, whatever one gives you the best performance. So you have gels from my, just my little bit of education are kind of, I classify them in 1 of 3. They're either what we call ringing gels, which is your braid gel, the jammy gels. The braid gels, the ones that bounce when they hit the floor. The braid gels, your edge controls, the clear ones, those are classified as ringing gels. They're what we call hot pours. They go in the jar hot. They're cooled off, and that's what gives them that jelly kind of like stiff texture, right? So that's over here. Then there are botanical gels that are your flax seeds, your aloe-based gels, your sea mosses, the ones that you can almost make by yourself, but you probably shouldn't. Those gels, okay? And then you have your gels that are what I call safe synthetics. They're fine. They're not, I don't know what, all of the propaganda, gel is gel. They're usually a substance mixed with water that creates that gel, but they're, it's man-made synthetics. I prefer a botanical gel under a setting product because the botanical gels, like flax and aloe, are more water-loving, so they like to pull water into the hair. And then when they're topped with the styler, like a Mousse Def, right? That water and all that jelly gel, that goodness, that moisture and the nourishment from the botanicals gets encapsulated in that in the setting, or what we call the fixative. So the sticky part of the mousse is the same thing in like hairspray, or you gotta have a fixative, okay? So to me, it just depends on what performance that you want. I've found though in textured hair, particularly tighter curls, or your type 4, we're gonna rock with that today, we're gonna type 4, they like the more botanical gels because botanical gels tend to be more flexible. Gels are made to encapsulate the hair shaft. They create like this little coating. It hardens around the hair, kind of holds it in that curly position, right? Botanical gels, just the way that they're formulated, just the way that those botanicals are made, those bands that wrap around the hair to make it hard bend a lot further before they break. And that's what makes your hair feel softer. That's what makes you have that more flexible hold. The synthetics are great. I mean, they're really high performing synthetic gels, right? But those bands tend to break a lot easier. They're less fluid because they don't love water as much. And that's really the difference. So you'll get faster flaking if you have too many layers of your synthetics. A lot less flaking in the botanical class, but they can get gummy. If you're in a very humid climate, you're gonna get more swelling. And that's where you'll get more sticky feeling. So sometimes if you use a gel and it's like, why is my hair a little sticky? A lot of times it's nothing to do with the gel. It's the humidity in whatever climate you're in. And if you're using a botanical gel in a humid climate, it's loving up that water. So I prefer to use a man-made class of gels, or like a hybrid, which like B-Girl is, in my more humid climates. Crunch, answer that. What has crunch ever done to us? I used to be like, oh, without the crunch. And now I'm looking back like, oh, I kind of like the crunch. And before I go any further, can you already see we haven't even used a blow dryer? Yeah. So that's different. So people are like, why do should you do how much water should be in the hair? If you want more shrinkage, a more organic look, then you need to wet it first, but still towel dry it first. It's just too much water. And this is like with nothing on it. And I mean, where's the swelling? Swelling where, frizz where, and we're air drying. So if you're an air dryer, then to me the B-Girl collection is better for people who have tight curls and like to air dry. It's still gonna give you bomb results if you diffuse, but this is a lot more tolerant of humidity, and it resists shrinking to me a little bit better than Mousse Def. Mousse Def is really, really conditioning, so that's why it feels like a softer hold, but it's really kind of the ratio of the softness and the fix-it. So, but crunch, ain't never hurt nobody, girl. If you want it to last longer, you're gonna need more fixative. You're going to need, I'm in gel hell, I told y'all this week, and that's what I'm trying to work out, like how much hold do I want versus softness. Softness is always a prerequisite, but how to balance that without making you mad, having it too crunchy. But if you want a longer hold, you're gonna have to have you have to choose either softness or hold.
I'm asking myself the time of washing those because I had a summer where that's literally all I did, and to the detriment of my hair, to be honest, but it's more of a technique question. So I love washing those, I always be washing those. I don't care about their retention because I want my curly hair. It's how can I strike that balance of the single strand knots, but also actually, I love this style. I have tightly coiled type ringlets, and I also want to wear my hair in that state, but I also, I want to retain some, but also not all off in the middle. If I want that style.
So you have fairy hair. In my practice, we call it fairy hair. So, and I don't have my glasses on, even though, so forgive me if I'm just giving you like a synopsis based on what I can see. You have high density fine hair. The strands of your hair are fine, but you have a lot per square inch. That's what makes it so big. And I can't see you, I'm just taking a look at this.
It's definitely what we got out. Well, I do have fine hair and high density.
Okay, gotcha. I'm picking up what you put down. Yeah. So that's where single strand knots are just part of having fine hair. If you have coily hair and you are manipulating it and styling it, and making your hair do anything that it doesn't naturally do when you wake up, you're gonna have the knots because curly hair that's styled in loops eventually is just gonna do that. No, it's nothing. Your hair is not a problem to be fixed. That's just what it does. And part of this is just kind of us accepting what our hair does. Now, what you can do to slow down what is a natural occurrence in textured hair is to get your hair trimmed or cut your hair. Find a hairstyle that you love, find a shape that you love where you can have a stylist cut your ends blunt, which means stretch out your natural hair first and get those ends to be more uniform. Because when you have shorter pieces and longer pieces, the long pieces or short pieces like to wrap around each other, and if when you stretch your hair isn't at a uniform length and it starts to shrink, it's gonna knot by itself. It's the variation in length that's creating those knots. It's not your texture. So I get a lot of clients like, oh my gosh, my hair tied on a lot of single strand knots. And I'm like, girl, if you just trim it and stop letting people make you feel afraid to not get a curly cut. You can stretch your hair out like I did, and like you saw me, it doesn't have to be like bone straight, but you can stretch your hair out, get a precision haircut where all of your hair is being pulled down to the same point, even if it's layered, whatever, but your hair is being trimmed at a uniform length. And it is a complete game changer for detangling. Those hours you spend in detangling, it's because you need a trim, you need shape. You can't just have natural hair with variation in length and variation in shape and variation in texture and expect it not to, roll up in a bunch of knots. It's just part of what our hair does. So there's some people that love to have that variation in length because it gives them volume, it creates shape, and they're sculpting their own hair story. Go for that. Just understand that you got to manage your expectations. If you have a lot of length variation, all right, you've got a lot of stuff going on. You have to be really careful with the way that you're detangling. You have to be really careful with the products that you're using and how frequently you are washing and conditioning your hair. Do I need to diffuse this? Yes.
Oh, you want to see it?
Girls want to see what it looks like.
So is there a difference that those of us who are getting, our seniorities coming up?
Give me a second. Yeah, whatever you want. I'm not swirling your world. Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
Oh, me? Yeah. So those of us who are, moving into the senior side of a little gray hair.
Wisdom, that's what we call it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Are there products that are good for us to use, at this point in time in our lives?
Well, I'm only speaking for the Doux.
Yeah.
I've tested a lot just to make sure that nothing yellows.
Yeah.
But even if you're using a styling product, you want to watch how much heat you're using. Because too much heat will yellow any product. It yellows the polymer, the fixative.
You mean like if I'm getting it flat ironed or blow dried?
Flat iron and blow drying can do it if you have like silicone or oil, anything on the hair that's heated. I mean, when you cook, if you heat it too much, it's gonna brown.
Yeah.
So I will watch the heat. I know that I have not had any issues on my gray clients. But again, gray hair. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Gray hair, you gotta be really careful. Be easy on yourself. This is your moment. It's hot girl summer.
I should embrace it, right?
So
and stop the dying.
Do what you want.
Yeah, do whatever.
But manage your expectations. You gotta embrace what's happening to your hair when it grays. The inside, beyond the cortex of the hair, you lost the pigment, so you really have kind of the shell. So your hair's behavior is not going to be like it was, 25 years ago. The softness, it feels like, but once you get used to it and accept the fact that you haven't done anything wrong, that this is just the next phase in your hair's journey, the way that you think about it has a lot to do with the styles that you choose. And if you're running from the gray, then you do all type of crazy cuts and color trying to run from it. But to me, being really proud, we're overthinking. And that's part of our culture that a lot of people don't get the benefit of. We need to be a lot more proud of getting more mature. It's okay. So if you if you don't love the gray, don't be miserable. Go get you some color ASAP.
But I think I want to be there. My youngest daughter just graduated college. I have three. They all graduated college, and my next birthday I'm going to be 62.
The best styler, yes. The best styler though I think for graying hair is the Mousse. Because usually when you're graying, you end up cutting a lot of your darker hair off, so you need more balance.
And it just makes you usually also in a phase of life where you need more manageability. You don't want a bunch of steps.
Right.
Mousse every day. Like what I did to her when I'm wearing my hair curly, I do it I'm spoiled. I wash my hair every day. If I get wet, my hair gets wet. So you can wash your hair if you work out, if you're active, you can literally wash it, condition it. Yeah, swimming, yes. We should not be a hostage to our hair. This is it. So there's a lot of leave-in, that's why you do not need a leave-in conditioner. I told you guys that the same thing that's in your leave-in conditioner is built into this formula. It's just not an emulsion like a cream, but what makes leave-in conditioner a leave-in conditioner is in all of my formulas. So you really don't need it. Most people just like a leave-in because it makes you feel warm and fuzzy in your heart. But it's not necessary because it really is in there. Another thing that leave-ins do that people like is it adds weight to the hair. But you can get that same effect if you use a base gel. So use your base gel in lieu of or instead of your leave-in and you're gonna get that same effect. Big Papa has a lot of moisturizer in it. It's very moisturized. Use too much, it'll get gummy. So you can use that, distribute that everywhere. Again, without styling every curl, just use a blob of it, kind of distribute it on wet hair, and then go on top of your mousse, and it will give you the same effect as if you had used some random cream that's gonna soften the curl. Too much and too many combos, like too much gel and mousse combo, it's not going to give you a stronger hold. It's actually going to soften the hold because of all the moisturizers in the formula. So for graying hair, I really like to use the mousses because they're already so moisturizing. And if you want a more defined hold, then you use a gel. But the cool thing about the mousse is also that you don't have to have wet hair. So you can just kind of grab it and you can refresh. So if you style with the gel, like if you style with Big Papa, you can refresh with mousse. Just pick out the little frizzy bits and then you just, yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I can't give me 1 second. This is dry-ish. This is dry-ish. Okay.
Difference between, or what effect do you think it has sitting under the hooded dryer and diffusing? That was
Hi, Mike.
I heard you.
Obviously
But I
noticed,
want everybody else to hear you. That's a good question.
the difference between sitting under the hooded dryer and using a blow dryer diffuser. And I did notice you didn't actually touch it. Actually,
No.
you just hovered.
No, you
So-
just hovered. I ain't got time for that.
What do you find, if you would recommend either or any,
Okay.
and why?
Now that's personal. If you're like me and you can't keep your hands out of your hair, then you sit under the dryer. So let me talk about the results. A hooded dryer is just gonna get everything dry and then you're gonna have to stretch or fluff and create that volume and movement yourself. In that process, sometimes you get a little bit more frizz than you want. Diffusing, I think, is also a great method. I'm not a fan of diffusers just because that's not my preference because I have different styling preference, right? But if you diffuse, the biggest difference is that, I'll show you, you get more movement at the roots because as it was drying, the hair was kind of doing this. So because those bands of fixative that I was telling you about are flexible, they never broke, I got to dry the hair while it was, hey. If it stays stationary while it's under the dryer, which I love the dryer because I'm handsy.
Yeah.
So it keeps my hands busy on my computer or whatever while it's doing its thing. If you're a dryer, now I have to create that movement and it doesn't translate as well. And I don't get as much volume when it's kind of just being dried in this position. So it's more of a positioning thing. The thing about diffusing, and I think we all let me turn this heat down. We all play down the effectiveness of just this. Take this off, take the concentrator off, and do your lowest heat setting or either your lowest or your medium, whatever you want, but I like the lowest, and your lowest air speed. Thank you. Stylist, you're supposed to be helping me out. Your lowest, and then if you diffuse to your heart's content and you're not getting your roots dry, which happens a lot with us, don't go crazy and do not touch it. just get the air kind of tucked up under there. You can use just a regular dryer. There's no magic to it. There's nothing magic about a diffuser. Diffuser does what it says it does. It takes the air, sucks the air up into one chamber, and then it disperses it so that it basically does what a hooded dryer does. But because it has a little bit more force and you can do it from underneath the hair, you're getting more volume. If you have super tight curls and you don't like shrinkage, then you do need to dry with a hooded dryer or a diffuser. If you're like me and shrinkage is your friend, then you just do you. So there's no right or wrong. You just have to understand your hair's behavior. And I encourage you guys to, I encourage you guys to try it more than once. I hear a lot, I tried everything, I tried this, or like, but you tried everything once. Most of you have products, they better be the Doux, but you have products in your arsenal already that are great products, but you're not getting the results that you want because you haven't tried it more than one way. So don't be afraid to, like, on a Sunday or whatever your down day is, to try a couple of things, because it's not just about you learning the products, it's about learning your hair. Let me answer your question. I know you. What's your question?
Hi.
Hi.
So obviously we've gone a different route and we've decided to diffuse it.
Yeah.
And you called it originally like the ugly curl, like the let it do its thing.
The Jerry curl.
How it is. So if you didn't choose to diffuse it, what do you need to wait for it to dry, or were you just gonna?
She would just go on about her day. Eventually, it will dry. But even if you are an air dryer, so the answer is, if we didn't diffuse it or sit under the dryer, she would just go on about her business. Mm-hmm. And as throughout the day, the hair is going to start to dry. It'll swell a little bit. It'll start to move. Do not touch it. It's nothing wrong with air drying, but you don't need to be fluffing. I see at the end of the videos how people, and they're still, leave it alone until it's 100% dry. Like, she's not 100% dry now, so I don't even want to start fluffing her. Y'all, use your imagination. We're not going to do that. All the way to the root, like it needs to be bone dry. And then, I'm gonna see if I can, yeah, it's still too wet. What will happen is, if she wants more volume, now, see how compressed that curl is? Now she can pull them apart, and there's no frizz. She has complete control over how big or small she wants her hair, because we've eliminated the frizz with the product. If you have frizz in the hair because you separated into a million little curls while it was still wet, it's just gonna be too big, and now there's nowhere to go from there. I'd rather have it in the ugly curl, in those big old chunks, and then pull them apart when they're completely dry, because I'll get really not only just the better definition, but a better representation of what her organic curl shape looks like. If I had taken, and I'm not trying to diss this method, but it's just not my favorite. It's not my personal aesthetic. If I had taken every single one of these little bitty curls and done the shingling thing or the spiraling thing, it wouldn't be an authentic representation of what her beautiful, natural, organic pattern really does. And then when she tries to repeat that at home, she's cussing me out because it doesn't look how I did it, and she doesn't like her hair. She's not familiar enough with what her hair really does look like. This whole thing, and I'm saying this in closing, let me get out of here. This whole thing was designed for us to love our hair more. This whole natural hair thing, when it started, like 2007, 2008, this was all about appreciating and embracing our natural texture. How can we do that if every method, every product, everything we try is pushing against that and grading up against that? We have to figure out a way to have a healthy balance. Yes, we all have fantasy Pinterest hair, right? But how do we enhance what is ours and start to appreciate and show that off without this kind of erasure of what we have and this embracing of what someone else has? So I like to, the Doux aesthetic, if you look at all my videos, you'll kind of see like a chunk first, and then the ends kind of do this. It's because that's what her hair does. This is her natural hair. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give her hair, but better. If she had tighter curls, it would look like her tight curls, just more hydrated, more relaxed, not relaxer, but relaxed. More movement. The volume and the shine should be amplified. That's how you know when you have achieved the right wash and go. And so when we're going through I want to get the best wash and go, wash and go, wash and go. The best wash and go for your tight curls isn't this is not your final result. And you haven't failed at your 4C wash and go if your 4C curls don't look like her 4A, I don't know what that, 4A-ish curls, right? This is what her hair does. Your hair does what your hair does. It should be you, just cleaner, fresher, better for you. Does that make sense? Yeah. I just want to thank y'all. This is like,
Thank you. I feel like I should have my notebook and write. I've learned so much today. We also want to say.
We need to thank the model.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you for traveling all the way here and blessing us with your gift. The gifts and your gift, your story, everything. Here at Salon Sessions, we love to give people their flowers, quite literally. So we would love to give you some flowers for everything we've done. And we're looking forward to your journey in the UK because we've been waiting. We're ready. So give a round of applause, please. Someone thought we forgot it was their birthday, you know what I mean? So, someone aka... So we want to give you a special gift as well. Happy belated birthday! All the love and goodness. Happy belated. So we are going to now, thank you very much, we're going to ask you to... Round of applause for Mother once more. Did you not take notes? Yes. Was you taking notes? Because this game is about to get real. Do you have your toothpicks? No problem. Afro cones. Do you have your afro cones? sorry. Do you have your afro cones? Yes. On your afro cone you should see a QR code. Okay? For the people that aren't tech savvy, it's okay. Because there are people, no judgment, I have to because that's me as well. There are some people around to help you, but what I need you to do is if you scan the QR code with your phone, the one on the back of the afro cone, yes? Yeah? I think they're the same one, they're the same one.
Alright.
Yeah. And once you log in, we're going to get down to a game. And this game is called... This game is called... What's going on? Alright, the pin. Alright, once we're all there, are we all there? Yes. Have we made it this far? Does anybody need any help? Then no judgment at all.
What's the game then?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now. I know you're ready. You said you were text savvy. Alright, are we there? Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a pin number. You ready to type it in? Yeah. Alright, it's 638. Oh, you already in there? You already paying? Okay. 638. 638. 1 second. Let me just make sure. Who needs technical support? Yeah? 638-9840.
Okay.
So 638-9840. Once you're in, I just want you to say, I'm in. I'm in. If you're not in, say, I'm. Okay, so no worries. 638-9840. Okay, I'm seeing all the names. Okay, that's what that is. Okay. Oh, okay then. Right. I think Okay, are we all in? Yes. DJ, give me some quite in the background whilst we're waiting for the final people. Yeah? Alright, so once we are all in, then the game will commence. Alright, so this is how we do. Are we ready? The questions will pop up on your screen. Where did Maya Smith first start servicing clients and building her hair salon business? A. Atlanta, B. Berlin, C. Brooklyn, D. Miami. That's why you should have taken your notes. Right. Too busy looking at pretty pictures. Was it A. Atlanta, B. Berlin, C. Brooklyn, or D. Miami? Ah. It was B. Berlin. Okay, which of the following is not a real product from the Doux? A. Big Popper, B. Fresh Rinse, C. Sucker Free, or D. Curl Jams? If you like the name. Who said you're new to this? You gotta learn a day. Oh, sorry. It was D. Curl Jams. Alright. All the burn, you're on the top right now. No pressure. Alright, next question is, what unique ingredient is a key player in the mousse step? Is it A, olive oil, B, protein, C, honey, or D, no key ingredient? No. I can see confused faces. The answer was D, no key ingredient. Because it's all about the formula. That's right. No key ingredient because what? It's all about the formula. If I come and correct you, because it's all about the formula. That's right. That's how we learn together. All right. Next question is. What makes the Doux product stand out in terms of formulation? Is it A, use of active ingredients, B, no artificial fragrance, C, salon quality results with no sulfates, silicones or parabens, or D, custom blended essential oils? At this point, just go for it. Exactly, you see? That's what happens. Just go for it. Okay, the answer was C. Salon quality results with no sulfates, silicones, none of that. Kenzo, you're on the top right now. Alright, number 5. What is the #1 selling Doux product? We must know this one. Is it A, Mousse Def, B, Big Popper, C, Crazy Sexy Curl, or D, Cream? If you don't get this one, I'm going to judge you. I'm just going to let you know. Yeah, 53% go right. A, Mousse Def. And your final question. Kenzo, you're... I'm not allowed to say that. I'm sorry, I'm exposing all the things. Kenzo, you're still in the lead right now. No pressure, you don't have to share your gifts. Whatever you get. Alright, final question is, where can you officially purchase a Doux from now that they're available in the UK? Is it A, Boots, B, Superdrug, C, Sephora, D, Tesco?
Soon all of them.
Sorry, no judgment. A, Boots, you're correct. Well done, well done. 52 of you. And so now, we are going to announce the winner. Yes, it will come up. And you're going to know as well. So, in third place is Nicole T. Second place is Davina. And in first place is Kenzo. Alright, so you win a prize, and your prize is... Hey, remember this one? Everything? No? Okay.
You win exclusive.
Oh, wow.
The Doux TreasureTress.
That's amazing. So we're coming to your house for all of us. Thank you very much. Well done. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Thank you so much, everyone. So this is going to be the wrap where you can all network, get to know each other, meet us at the back so we can just give you a little something to say thank you on your way home. And yeah, this was Salon Sessions with the Doux. So thank you.